Nice to not have to sit in front of a microphone, multiple times a week. I really appreciate all of you, but it will be nice to kind of get away and relax for a little bit. And
when really, y'all are the racists. The people coming up with excuses to hate Caitlin Clark.
Imagine being the biggest star in your sport, breaking records left and right, and then deciding to walk away from it all. That's exactly what Caitlin Clark just did. The WNBA's Golden Girl shocked everyone when she announced she's leaving for Europe. But why? What pushed her to make such a crazy move? Hold up though. We can't talk about Clark's decision without understanding her impact. Picture this. A player so electric, she single-handedly boosted league attendance by 400%. That's not a typo. How did Clark turn the WNBA upside down? Let's break it down. You know how some rookies struggle to adapt? Well, Clark's story is the exact opposite, and it's crazy. She didn't just step onto the court, she owned it from day one. We're talking about a rookie who became the face of the entire WNBA faster than you can say three-pointer. Clark's games weren't just games, they were events. Imagine 1.8 million viewers tuning in for regular season matchups. That's more than some established stars were pulling in. It's like Clark had this magic touch that turned every game into must-see TV. But it wasn't just about the ratings. Clark's impact hit the WNBA where it really counts, the wallet. Get this, her jersey became the top seller in league history by August 2024. We're talking about a rookie outselling legends like Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi. That's insane. And the tickets? Oh boy, the tickets. Indiana Fever, home games suddenly became the hottest thing in town. Courtside seats were going for $200 a pop. People were scrambling to get a glimpse of Clark in action. It's like she turned every game into a mini Super Bowl. You know what's even crazier? Clark wasn't just boosting her own team's popularity. Her presence was lifting the entire league. We're talking about a rookie who had the power to fill arenas, even when she was playing away games. That's the kind of star power that changes everything. Stars shine bright, but sometimes they burn out fast. How long could Clark carry not just her team, but the hopes of an entire league? The answer might surprise you. You know how they say it's lonely at the top? For Caitlin Clark, it wasn't just lonely, it was downright brutal. Picture this. You're the hottest rookie in WNBA history, breaking records left and right, but every time you step on the court, it feels like you're walking into a war zone. Clark was facing challenges that would make most players crumble. The physical play? It was off the charts. We're talking about a rookie getting roughed up like she was a seasoned vet with a target on her back. And the refs? They weren't exactly rushing to her rescue, but it wasn't just the physical stuff that was getting to Clark. The mental game was even tougher. Imagine being accused of racism just for playing your heart out.
When really, y'all are the racists. The people coming up with excuses to hate Caitlin Clark.
That's what Clark was dealing with. She wasn't just fighting opponents on the court, she was battling perceptions off it too. Clark didn't hold back about how she was feeling. She straight up said, "I feel like I'm getting hammered and everybody is physical with me."
Physical defense she's faced at the professional level and voiced frustration with the league's officiating, recently telling reporters, quote, "I feel like I'm getting hammered and everybody is physical with me."
What I am upset about, it's like, hey man, your meal ticket is under constant attack. There's been dirty plays.
Can you imagine the frustration? Here's a player who's changing the game and she's feeling like she's getting punished for it. Now let's talk about the playoffs. Clark was like a one-woman army out there. We're talking 29 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds, numbers that would make any superstar proud. But here's the kicker. While Clark was lighting up the scoreboard, her team was struggling to keep up.
If Caitlin Clark is the quote-unquote savior, if she's the golden girl, milk it!
It was like watching a superhero movie where the hero is fighting off a whole army by herself. Clark was doing everything she could, but basketball is a team sport. No matter how many incredible shots she made or passes she dished out, she couldn't win the game alone. You've got to wonder what was going through Clark's mind during those games. There she was, playing her heart out, but every time she looked up at the scoreboard, it was like a punch to the gut. It's one thing to lose when you're not playing well, but to put up those kinds of numbers and still come up short, that's gotta hurt. And let's not forget about the pressure. Every game, every shot, every move, millions of eyes were watching. Clark wasn't just playing for herself or her team anymore. She was carrying the hopes of an entire league on her shoulders. That's a weight that can crush even the strongest players. Think about it. Clark went from college star to the face of professional women's basketball practically overnight. That's not just a step up. It's like going from high school to the Olympics in one leap. The expectations were through the roof, and Clark was expected to meet them every single night. Sometimes the bravest move isn't staying in the game. It's knowing when to step off the court. What decision did Clark make that left the entire WNBA world stunned? Picture this: September 29th, 2024. A packed press conference. Everyone's waiting to hear from the league's biggest star. And then boom! Caitlin Clark drops a bombshell that no one saw coming. I need a reset. I need to get away from all of
I
this.
think it'll definitely be a little bit of an adjustment period for myself, not really, having to do that so much. I woke up yesterday and I'm like, I don't know what
Clark announced. Can you believe it? The rookie sensation who had the whole league buzzing was suddenly hitting the pause button on her WNBA career. She's not just taking a break, she's heading to Europe to play. Now you're probably thinking, why would she do that? Well, it turns out being a superstar isn't all it's cracked up to be. Clark was feeling the heat, and not just on the court. The pressure, the scrutiny, the expectations, it was all piling up. And remember how physical the games were getting? That was taking a toll too. This decision caught everyone off guard. I mean, we're talking about the player who single-handedly boosted league attendance by 400%, the one whose jersey sales were off the charts, the star who had 1.8 million viewers glued to their screens for regular season games.
There were regular season games this season where Caitlin Clark drew more than 1.8 million viewers.
Indiana Fever, all right, with Caitlin Clark, led the league in attendance both home and on the road. Fever averaged 17,000.
And now, just like that, she's walking away. It's like Clark looked at all that success and said, you know what? It's not worth it if I'm not happy. That's huge. In a world where athletes are expected to push through anything, Clark chose herself. She decided that her mental health and well-being were more important than living up to everyone else's expectations.
nice to not have to sit in front of a microphone, multiple times a week. I really appreciate all of you, but it will be nice to kind of get away and relax for a little bit.
But here's the thing. This isn't just about Clark. Her decision is sending shockwaves through the entire WNBA. Think about it. The league's biggest draw, its most marketable star, is suddenly gone. What's that going to do to ticket sales, TV ratings, sponsorship deals? It's like the WNBA hit the jackpot with Clark, and now the slot machine just broke. And it's not just about money. Clark was more than a player. She was a symbol. She represented the future of women's basketball. She was inspiring young girls to pick up a ball and dream big. Now those same girls are seeing their heroes step away from the spotlight. That's a tough pill to swallow. But maybe, just maybe, there's a silver lining here. Clark's decision is starting a conversation about athlete mental health that's long overdue. It's making people realize that even the brightest stars need a break sometimes. And who knows? Maybe this reset is exactly what Clark needs to come back stronger than ever.
The most dominant team in the league. They can't draw 500,000 viewers for a playoff game.
Still, you've got to wonder what's going through Clark's mind right now. Is she relieved, scared, excited about playing in Europe? And what about her teammates and coaches? They must be in shock. One day you're planning your strategy around the league's best player, and the next, you're back to the drawing board. So Caitlin Clark's journey has been a wild ride. From rookie sensation to league superstar, she was on top of the world. But sometimes, being at the top isn't all it's cracked up to be. The pressure, the physicality, the expectations, it all became too much. Clark's decision to step away isn't just about her, it's sending shockwaves through the entire WNBA. Think about it, the league's biggest star is taking a break. What's that going to do to ticket sales, TV ratings, and sponsorships? But maybe there's a silver lining here. Clark's move is starting a conversation about athlete mental health that's long overdue. It's showing that even the brightest stars need a timeout sometimes. Will she come back stronger than ever? The basketball world will be watching, that's for sure.